What up, YouTube? OG Trap Jordan, back with another one. And today I want to talk about how next year is the 40th anniversary of Jordan Brand and how exciting of a time we're living in right now, because I think that next year Jordan Brand is going to have some tricks up their sleeves. We've already seen a lot of releases coming out that are expected for next year. And I do feel like with the 40th anniversary of Jordan Brand coming up, it's gonna be some special stuff happening that we don't even know about yet. I'm sure they got a lot of tricks up their sleeves. I'm sure they're gonna be pulling out all the stops. And before I made this video, I did think, like, do I want to do a recap? And then I thought, you know what? I probably don't. I don't want to talk about and rehash the stories that we've already heard. Like, I don't want to do a recap on basically the movie, what it did, and talk about how Jordan Brand didn't even want to sign to Nike in the first place, and how he wanted to sign to Adidas and almost signed to Converse, but his mom talked him into it, and we ended up with the iconic Jordan 1. And I didn't want to recap none of that about how supposedly his agent David Falk had come up with the word or the name Air Jordan. I didn't want to recap on how the 2 was one of the ugliest Jordans that we ever got, in his opinion, and in most sneakerheads' opinions as well, or how he broke his ankle playing in it. And I almost didn't even want to recap on the fact that he almost left and they had to bring in Tinker Hatfield to design the 3 and keep Jordan alive at the brand. So I don't want to recap on none of that. I also don't want to recap on how he took those threes and he had that iconic moment jumping from the free throw line in the dunk contest back in the day. I didn't want to recap on that. I didn't want to recap on him wearing the 6s, 7s, and 8s when he got his first 3 rings back in the day. And I also didn't want to retread on how when his father was unfortunately unalived by some assholes back in the day, and then he retired for the first time, and then returned a couple years later after playing baseball, where subsequently the 9 was turned into a baseball shoe. And then he came back wearing that iconic 11. I didn't want to touch on none of that, honestly. I didn't want to fast forward to the last shot where he wore those 14s, those black and red 14s, and then retired again. And basically after 6 championship rings and a hell of a career, became the GOAT. And then even came back briefly with the Wizards at almost 40 years old, still scoring crazy points. I really didn't want to recap on any of that, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about how next year is the 40th anniversary of Jordan Brand, and it's going to be a big deal and it's going to be great. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to a lot of the things they got going on. Jordan Brand looks like they're pulling out all the stops. We've had rumors, we've had cancellations, but some things have been confirmed, some things are yet to be determined. But one thing that I do know, that in February, or maybe it's not February, but next year, they're coming out with the Jordan 1 OG High Bred. Now this is a shoe that's seen a few releases. I got a pair. I should have busted it out. It's sitting up there. That one is something that I'm looking forward to. I just heard it was limited, and that sucks. They're limiting a lot. Jordan Brand's going to be doing that a lot because we're not buying these shoes and they don't want to play out their brand, and I get it, it's marketing. But those are coming out next year, and hopefully it's not limited, and hopefully they make it as close to the OG as possible, and a lot of us that really want that shoe can get our hands on them. I'm looking forward to that one, probably one of the most, even though I have it already. I want that OG 85 high. I want that OG specs on there. I want to see what they do with the shoe, because I think they're going to do something special, especially with it being the 40th anniversary. So they got to drop that, and they got to do that right. So I'm looking forward to that one. We also have Jordan 5 Metallics coming out next year. Now, at first I got a little disappointed because I heard it was reimagined, and it is, from what I've been told. But it's not that bad. They just threw some white laces in there. And you know what? He put some white laces in his shoes a couple times, so it makes sense. And then it's got a little bit of that M3 reflective around the trims of the cuts, which you won't even be able to tell unless somebody shines a light on it. So that's still going to be a banger right there, and I'm looking forward to that one for sure. We also just basically got confirmation that the Grape 5s are coming out with that Nike Air and the booty cheeks, and that's another banger. That's another classic. We all know a couple of the stories about that. We know how Will Smith, aka the Fresh Prince, used to wear those with no laces, and they came out a couple years with no lace holes, and people were popping the lace holes out. But now they're coming out in OG form, and that's going to be a big one for me too as well. There's also a rumor that they might come out with those Jordan 5 Fire Reds with the black tongue, and I still got the old pair of those back here somewhere too. If they don't come out with those next year, they'll come out with them soon, because that one is in high demand and it's been a minute and we need that one. So looking forward to that one as well. And we also just got rumors the other day that the Jordan 4 white cement was going to make its return. Now, I don't know. I'm skeptical. They got a lot of OGs they're dropping, and sometimes they push things back. Sometimes things get canceled. Also, the thing that I'm worried about is I heard the little rumor, the little birdie talking about how it's going to be a reimagine. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I don't want no aged sole. I don't want no aged netting, and I don't want no nubuck on that. I got my pair from a few years ago up there somewhere. And if it comes out wrong, I'm not going for it. But if they do it right, it's a definite must cop on that one. We also got news recently that the Jordan 10 Steels are making their return. But the rumor on that one is it's going to have that ugly toe cap. Yeah, that one. The one that Michael Jordan didn't like. He told him to take off. The one that I don't like. The one that most of y'all probably don't like. Yeah. So, but you know what? I got a feeling they're going to try to make that special, and they're going to try to limit that. It might be one of them situations where it's got a real high price tag on it and it's real hard to get, and it just becomes one of them collector pieces. So we'll see. I'd rather them GR it so we can all get our hands on it. It's been a while since we had a 10. So, and that's a classic colorway right there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. I really hope they do us right. Jordan Brand likes to play games. I'm going to make another video on that at another time. Jordan Brand, they love to play games, and they play games so that they don't get played out. And I appreciate that, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because I really want to get my hands on a lot of these shoes, and sometimes they make it real difficult. But anyhow, yeah, next year is the 40th anniversary of Jordan Brand, and I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what else releases. I know there's a lot of other releases I didn't talk about. I just wanted to talk about the OGs. Also, we had those rumors that the flu games were coming out, and then they canceled that, and supposedly it was those, what were those called? Those black and red, ugly, whatever those Jordans were called, and they just canceled those. So maybe they're going to turn around and give us the flu games. Who knows? It is the 40th anniversary. So anything's possible. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely looking forward to next year. I think it's going to be one of the best years for Jordan Brand in a long time. They're definitely pulling out all the stops. They're definitely going to give us some heat, and it's definitely going to be a fire year to be a sneakerhead. So get ready for that, and stay tuned for some more videos because I'm coming with it. I just hit a little milestone, not a milestone, but one of my goals as far as doing this YouTube. And I'm going to keep pushing. So with that being said, on that note, I'm going to sign off. And before I do, I'd like to ask if you could please subscribe and hit that like button. It would mean a lot to me. I really appreciate y'all watching and pulling up and giving me your support. But like I said, I'm going to sign off one more time. OG Trap Jordan, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Jordan, the other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan.